Where the hell is Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake? Damn it. Huh? Yuji Horii-sama? Nandesu? Where is it, bro? Nani? Okay, I mean, obviously, you know the topic, right? For the day. But seriously, bro, where the hell is this game? They announced it more than a year ago. As of right now, I'm recording October 4th. This was announced in May of last year. It's been freaking, what is that? Literally almost 18 months. It's been 17 months since this game was announced. Have we seen any updates? No. Where they at? Where they at? You know what I'm saying? Oh man. So the studio that makes the is making this game obviously have had their hands full. I mean, they have been pumping out games for the last every couple months now, or maybe more, honestly, like Live Alive and I forgot what other else, but they've been working on a lot of stuff. So, okay, I get it. Maybe they just had a whole crap load of projects and like slowly have been able to like finalize and finish, one at a time sort of thing. But dude, excuse me. What the game, I mean, it didn't show off a lot of the world or anything in terms of, what it did show off with the Dragon Quest 2D 3D the 3D 2D remake, whatever it's called. It just kind of showed the first area and then some battle scenes and then inside of a cave or whatever, but which is all part of the first area, because when you explode the wall, that's like basically the beginning in the game. So I don't know if they just kind of had that stuff ready, and then that's why they kind of like made the trailer just to kind of hype people up. I mean, it worked. It definitely hyped people up. I mean, I think I forgot who it was. Somebody made a video basically on the same topic, like where is Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake? It might have been Sack Chief. I don't remember, but basically he was saying like the trailer for Dragon Quest 12 had like 2 million views or whatever, and the one for Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake had like more than 4 million. And we're talking, this was a couple months ago, so it's probably got more by now. But basically that just kind of shows you how hyped people are for this game. It's like it's more, exciting for the 2D 3D remake compared to Dragon Quest 12 as of right now. Now, that's also kind of for obvious reasons. Dragon Quest 12 trailer is really just a freaking logo, So there's not much to that. Excuse me. Just took a little sippy sap. Water. But, oh my gosh. Endeavor, how dare you let Dragon Quest Die manga push you around like that? Anyways. So, yeah, it's just... I think the biggest thing is just not ready. And we've just kind of been, they just kind of dangled a nice little fruit or piece of candy in front of us that they just weren't really ready to, fully announce yet. But the thing is, too, in terms of scheduling for Dragon Quest games, I personally feel, this is my personal kind of insight or opinion, Dragon Quest Treasures is coming out in December, which by the time this episode releases, it's going to be late October. I don't know exactly what date this episode will release, but it's going to be like later in October. So by the time this episode releases, we'll be closer to the release of the new Dragon Quest game, Dragon Quest Treasures. The only thing is, so in terms of like a marketing perspective, I totally understand why they wouldn't announce like 2 Dragon Quest games at once, or at least like hype people up for 2 games at once. So I can see them just kind of wanting to hype up Dragon Quest Treasures for now, this year, and then maybe at the beginning of next year, they just drop an official trailer with like a legit date of when Dragon Quest 2D, 3D Remake's coming out. And honestly, for me, for example, Dragon Quest Treasures is going to come out this year. We know that. But Dragon Quest 2D, 3D Remake, I feel like is coming maybe end of next year, 2023. It just kind of seems that way because, dude, again, I mean, it's just like the beginning-ish area that they showed off in the trailer, but the game looked like it was kind of ready, bro. Like, it looked like it was kind of ready. So, I mean, who knows what else they have to add and stuff like that. And again, that studio specifically that's been working on these games excuse me, have been pumping out a ton of projects recently. I mean, the mobile game, there was a mobile game for Octopath Traveler that just came out. Again, Live Alive, and I think there was another game that also came out recently. I don't remember exactly what it was called or anything, but, you know, obviously this studio has been very busy, and so it only makes sense that this is taking a while. But, you know, that's just how it is. But honestly, as well, and this might kind of sound contradictory to my topic, but I'm also cool with them taking their time, bro. Because the thing is, for me personally, I would rather wait longer for them to release a game that I'm very, very excited about than for them to hurry up and basically just give us a half-assed project. You know what I mean? Like, it's very possible. Well, this has happened with multiple games. The most famous one that I remember off the top of my head for a fact was Anthem. And I don't know if you guys knew about this game, BioWare. It was a BioWare game. It had a whole bunch of issues. It was in development hell. There's so many development issues. The directors, you know, there's so many of them that left and crap like that. But what was promised was amazing. I mean, this game was just absolutely awesome. The E3 trailer for the initial trailer for it, it was incredible. I was so hyped to play this game. What we got was a literal piece of caca. A literal piece of poop. Like, legit poop. Okay? And it was just horrible, man. And so, and honestly, that happens sometimes or every now and then with games because basically they just have this schedule that they need to hit, basically. But it just takes, you know, away from being able to polish a product. Like Pokemon, for example, in terms of Pokemon Sword and Shield, that game is just gross, dude. I mean, the concept was kind of cool, but the game itself is just trash. I mean, it was the one gen. I don't think I've ever been so, like, just appalled by a generation of Pokemon before than Generation 8. Like, dude, the graphics in that game were horrendous. Even the freaking menus. The menus were just way too simple. Everything just was way too simple and just... you could tell that there was just not a lot of, like, love put into it. No polish. No... It was just bad, dude. It was just a bad game. Like, dude, there's a freaking town that's literally just a straight line. The seventh freaking gym battle, dude. The seventh town you go to, where Marnie's from, it's literally just a straight line. It's crap. It's absolute crap, dude. I'm sorry, but that game was crap, bro. The DLCs I think were pretty cool. Like they added quite a bit of like gameplay to the game that was sorely lacking and missing. But I think they should have just made a good product from the get go, honestly. Because I think a lot of fans were also just very turned off by the game, unfortunately. The new Pokemon game that comes out in November, now that looks fun. I will say that. I will admit that it looks like they spent much more time on this one. And I think a lot of it has to do with them, with the remake of Diamond and Pearl, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They gave it to a third-party company to remake that game. And the game itself was okay. It was fun. It was entertaining. I don't like the graphics that much, at least with the chibi, art style for the characters. But it was entertaining. But I also feel like because they did that, they were able to spend much more time. The core group of Pokemon, of Game Freak, was able to spend much more time to polish and make this new generation, Gen 9, that's coming out this year, look way better, feel better. Just you could tell there's much more life and thought put into the game itself. But I also think, excuse me, huge company like Pokemon, Game Freak, Creatures Inc., whatever. They also, like, dude, Pokemon games, there's a game that comes out like once a year at least. There's there's a lot of spin-offs and a lot of like different little games and updates for like mobile games and like, I don't know, just a whole bunch of different, kind of Pokemon games that are coming out. So that obviously also hinders kind of like the potential of just like a mainline game. So anyways, that's a different issue all on its own. But basically, what I'm trying to say, I just went off on a huge tangent. And I'm not sorry about it because I just like to talk. And especially about just talking. But basically, dude, freaking... all I'm trying to say is please, Dragon Quest, give us a good product. And yes, I want to see this game and I want to play this game. I very, very, very much want to play this game. But I prefer waiting longer and getting a great product than getting the product, earlier and getting an okay product, So yeah, it's something that's, we know it's coming out soon-ish, but a little trailer about it wouldn't hurt, just kind of letting us, pump us up a little bit for the game. That I think that would be a great idea, even if they do let us know that it was pushed off, but at least giving us some like detail on the project, I think would be very beneficial to everyone. Or at least to the consumer, to us. But again, in terms of like a marketing perspective, I also completely can understand why Dragon Quest Treasures is the focus of the marketing team. I mean, if you follow Dragon Quest at all, any of their like social medias or anything at all, they are heavily promoting Dragon Quest Treasures. I mean, it's almost every day. It might be every day. Excuse me. I talk a lot, so my throat dries up pretty quick. Oh man, sorry. That was a long chug of water. Yeah, basically all of the freaking social medias of Dragon Quest, they are... I don't know if it's every day or almost every day, but yeah, legit, they're literally just posting Dragon Quest Treasures, like, information. Like, new screenshots, little more information that gets revealed, more like information about the rival gangs, for example, is something that they've been promoting recently as of this recording. Just a couple of features and stuff like that, more characters, more NPCs. So, it makes sense as to like it, because if they were to drop a new trailer for Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake, that would I think that would basically kind of distract people, you know what I mean, from the game that's coming out literally in a couple months, like very soon. And so I think, again, in an advertisement sort of perspective, in a marketing sense, it makes sense that we haven't heard anything just yet. And this was probably all planned out, to be honest. Like, they probably worked on the game a significant amount to where they could show a good trailer when they did last year. And then the studio was like, all right, let's finish our other projects first, and then we'll push out Dragon Quest, we'll promote Dragon Quest 3 after, Dragon Quest finished promoting Dragon Quest Treasures and that game gets released. Then we'll focus on Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake. And so as of right now, in a sense of a timeline, again, Dragon Quest Treasures is coming out this year. Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake, I believe, is coming out next year, and Dragon Quest 12, I think, would come out the following year. I mean, it's like 90% like sure, like I'm 90% sure that Dragon Quest 3D 2D remake or whatever. Excuse me, I am full of gas right now. Excuse me, oh man. Is coming out before Dragon Quest 12. I mean, it would only make sense. Just the trailers that we got, you could tell Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake had much more, development done compared to Dragon Quest 12. I mean, or at least what they revealed, But I don't think they would also, wait to reveal something so juicy, as new gameplay for Dragon Quest 12 or anything like that. Again, and that's another example of marketing. They're heavily focusing on Dragon Quest Treasures right now, and then eventually we'll get more info of the other games. And you know what might even happen, 2023, at the start of 2023, we might even just get a trailer for both games. We might get a release date for both games too. It might be, Dragon Quest 2D 3D remakes coming out 2023, holiday 2023, and Dragon Quest 12 is coming out 2024, summer or spring or whatever. I don't know. But I definitely feel like that is more or less the timeline of when these games will release. Because again, in a business sort of mentality, in a marketing sort of way to sell your product and for it to be viable and, reach the most amount of hype for your consumer, this is the best way to do it. So, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. So anyways, I'm really excited for the 2D 3D remake. Where is it? I have no idea. But again, I think it's all literally just a tactical sort of approach with when and how they're releasing information on the game itself. So, yeah. Basically, I answered my own question, I think. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Tomorrow, we might get a freaking trailer for Dragon Quest 2D 3D remake, and I was probably just completely wrong. Who knows, But I think it makes sense what I'm saying. And so in that sense, if I'm right, I basically answered my own question in this podcast. So anyway, there you go. You're welcome, me. But yeah, so I'm excited either way for that game, man. I'm super, super stoked for that game. Yeah. Right now, I just barely today, literally probably like an hour ago, just turned on my Game Boy Color and played a little tiny bit of Dragon Warrior 3 again. And I think I might kind of pick that up and like finish it. Because initially I wanted to finish the Dragon Warrior 3 on Game Boy Color earlier this year, but I basically, well, yeah, but basically I was kind of like, oh, you know what? The 2D, 3D remake's coming out. It's probably going to come out this year, blah, blah, blah. What's the point of, finishing Dragon Warrior 3 and then playing the new, the same game, but like way better graphics and stuff again, And so, but it's seeming more and more like the game's going to take a little longer to come out. So I might as well just kind of play through Dragon Warrior 3 and just finish it. Because, I mean, in terms of Dragon Warrior 3 compared to Dragon Quest 3, the mobile version, I prefer Dragon Warrior 3 by a lot. Although the graphics are much simpler, the game itself has just more sense of life to it. Just the sprites alone when they move is something that's so adorable and charming that it brings to life, the game a little bit more. Even though, again, it's much more simplistic compared to the mobile version. But and let's not even talk about how amazing the freaking graphics are in the new version of the game. And again, can't wait for that to come out. But anyways, now I'm just basically rambling like hell. So, yeah. When's this game coming out? I think it's next year. End of the year, next year is when I'm kind of putting my money on that game coming out. So, yeah. So that's basically it with the main topic. I don't think I have much else to say on that topic itself. So let's move on to the next segment, which, if you watched my first episode, you would kind of know how this podcast is going to be kind of the direction it takes. I basically focus on the main topic, and that's the main segment, right? And then after that, I'll focus on the my secondary segment, or my last segment, is what I'm playing / watching / doing other than Dragon Quest related things. Well, and I should mention, I'm also playing a lot of Dragon Quest games at the moment. I'm still grinding in 8. I'm still trying to grind to beat the Drugovian Trials for a second time. Besides that, I'm streaming Dragon Quest 11S Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You're definitely invited. Check it out on my channel. I kind of put down Dragon Quest 7 for now, but I would like to pick that back up. But I think I would rather play Dragon Warrior 3 before I play 7 again. So there's that. And then I'm also playing Dragon Quest 4 on mobile as well. So that's another game that I'm kind of slowly playing. Yeah. So there's a lot of Dragon Quest I'm playing and watching. I mean, I'm obviously watching Dragon Quest Die and reading the manga. If you follow me or if you're subscribed to me already, you already would know that. I started off heavily doing Dragon Quest Die videos. And then I've been slowly incorporating more, general Dragon Quest related topics or videos about the games and stuff like that with my tier lists and my podcasts and stuff like that. So there's that. So besides gaming though, I have been playing Breath of the Wild as well. I finally beat the first level of the trial of the Master Sword DLC. And so in Breath of the Wild right now, I got all the Divine Beasts because I restarted it. I restarted Breath of the Wild several months ago, and I was hooked on it. I eventually beat all the Divine Beasts, and then I started the Trial of the Sword, but I kind of got frustrated and I put it down for a little bit, for a couple months. And then I just barely finished the first rank or first level. So I'm kind of playing that as well whenever I get some time. I've also been playing, I kind of forgot about this until now, Dragon Quest Builders, the first one, but on Switch, not on mobile. I know it just barely released on mobile, but I'm playing it on Switch every now and then because that game is also. The thing is, as I mentioned, I'm streaming Dragon Quest XI S right now, but I kind of want to stream Dragon Quest Builders 2. But I'm super weird and annoying about this, but I can't start a game, especially a sequel to a game, if I haven't beat or played the first one. So right now, I'm literally like just trying to kind of speed run Dragon Quest Builders 1. And eventually, I'll play 2. And I'll stream 2. Because I think streaming 2 will be really fun. Yeah. But it's going to be hard, too. Because I also want to stream Dragon Quest Treasures. And if I beat Dragon Quest XI S before Dragon Quest Treasures comes out, which I'm kind of like iffy about that. Because I don't think I'll be able to beat it before Dragon Quest Treasures comes out. It would be literally like right before it comes out. And I'm for sure streaming Dragon Quest Treasures like day one it comes out. So yeah, dude. But yeah. So besides that, I think that's all in terms of gaming. I did also kind of play a little bit of Poke MMO. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Poke MMO. And I'm playing through Kanto right now in Poke MMO. I was playing it pretty consistently several months ago for a while. And then I just kind of put it down. But now I just kind of wanted to pick it back up. Because basically, Pokemon Legends Arceus, they released a new movie on Netflix, the Pokemon movie. And it's actually pretty good, and it was really enjoyable. But every time I watch anything Pokemon, or really any franchise that I love, I start getting a little bit of nostalgia of the games or whatever. And so I always kind of go back to playing something from that universe. And in this case, Poke MMO was what I chose to basically play to scratch that Pokemon nostalgia itch. So there's that. So there's another thing for you. And then in terms of anime, watched the new episode of Spy Family, which was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. We finally got to meet the new member of the family, the doggo. And besides that as well, I've been slowly watching still. I kind of stopped watching Classroom of the Elite, which I'm pretty sure I talked about last episode. But I'm also watching slowly Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2, which has been pretty good. Yeah, it's been pretty good. And then besides that, is there anything else I've been watching in terms of anime? I can't remember. Oh, Dragon Ball Z with my son. Every now and then we watch Dragon Ball Z together. And I think that's it in terms of watching anime. And then in terms of watching shows, I am watching, with my wife, we're watching The Rings of Power, which I didn't even know this, but the show is getting so much freaking crap online. So much crap. Like, people hate it, apparently. But to be honest, it's funny. Me and my wife talk about it, and we're like, we kind of love it. I'm assuming that maybe the material, like the original material, compared to what's being actually portrayed in the show, is just not well portrayed or something. I'm assuming the people that are like angry at the show are like die-hard Lord of the Rings fans or something. And, but for us, for example, we just enjoy the show. Like, we've never read the books. We don't really care about reading books or the lore or whatever. We just enjoy the show. So we don't necessarily, see any issues with it. But yeah, maybe we're just not as intelligent as these people, these critics that are talking so much crap on the show. But anyways, that's just whatever. That's a whole topic on its own. And yeah, I don't want to get political because apparently there's a lot of politics involved. So anyways, that's basically it for today's episode. For episode 2 of freaking Dragon Quest Poppy Podcast. I noticed that I never ever even freaking said anything about the podcast in terms of like what it is or anything like that in the whole episode because I just literally wanted to talk about this topic so much. But guys, this is episode 2, or this was episode 2 of Dragon Quest Poppy Podcast. If you're watching me on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content, all Dragon Quest related content here. You get freaking Dragon Quest Die related, video once a week. You get a manga review video. You get an anime review video, every other week sort of thing. And then Friday mornings, you get either a podcast episode like this one, or you get a tier list video. And it probably won't always be a tier list video. Maybe it'll be some other kind of video eventually. But for now, I'm really enjoying the tier lists. Because I've never done them before. I've never had the technology to like record anything that I've been recording lately. And so I've just kind of been really enjoying recording these kind of videos. But if you're listening to me on whatever podcast streaming service you're listening to me on, whether it be Anchor, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts or whatever, thank you. And also follow and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Okay, so that's again basically it. Oh, guys, also, listen, I want to have guests on this show. I basically just want to talk Dragon Quest with Dragon Quest fans. So if you are a fan of Dragon Quest, and maybe you even have a specific topic that you would like to talk to me about, or we can discuss this topic together and just have a great conversation, let me know. I would love to have you on the show. I want this show to be literally by Dragon Quest fans for Dragon Quest fans. So if you want to, be on an episode or, join me and we can talk, I can even, come up with the topic, or you can. It doesn't matter. I don't really care. But I would definitely love to have you on the show. So if you're interested at all, please comment down below, or just follow me on whatever social media that you are on, because I'm most likely on there. Actually, I'm on everything basically. I'm on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm even on TikTok. So if you want to reach out to me on those social media platforms, my username is the same everywhere, Dragon Quest Poppy. So yeah, but let's communicate and let's record an episode together. I would love to do that. I would definitely cater to your schedule, because I know a lot of my fans are either most of my fans are, and fans, I mean subscribers, but most of the people that subscribe to my channel or watch my videos are way further ahead of me in time. I'm Mountain Standard Time. And so there's people that are 6 hours ahead of me. There's people that are 2 or 3. And so I will cater my schedule to yours, and let's freaking make an episode together. I'd love to do it. So again, reach out, comment down below, hit me up on the socials, whatever, and let's do it. I'd love to do it. Okay, well again, I'm Poppy, and this is Dragon Quest Poppy. And guys, let me know when you think Dragon Quest 2D 3D Remake is coming out. Do you agree with me? Do you feel like this is kind of a marketing tactic from Dragon Quest, where they're trying to take, one step at a time sort of thing before they actually release, a trailer for the game? Maybe they have it all ready to go, but they just want to wait, again, just to use it as a marketing tactic. Or I don't know. Let me know what you think. Okay. Again, thank you, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.